So I'm joined here by Olivier Jankovec, who is Director General of ACI Europe. Olivier, thank you so much for joining me today.
My pleasure.
My first question for you is, it's 2023, it's a new year, fresh challenges, but what is on your to-do list for 2023?
Well, I think we have a lot on our to-do list. I think the first issue we're all looking at is operational resilience this summer. And we know all airports across Europe are working on this, more advanced planning in terms of how the summer needs to go in terms of operations. The second issue is and remains net zero. We're very busy following the work of the European Commission with the Fit for 55 package, which will really chart a way forward for aviation in Europe to decarbonise. And there are very high stakes for the industry. Because as the US Inflation Reduction Act shows, in Europe there's a lot of sticks but not many carrots, and we're looking at trying to rebalance that. And then we have other issues that come up front is the revision of the EU slot regulation. I think it's very clear that as airports are going to find it more and more difficult to develop new capacity, the way the existing capacity is being used by airlines is going to be crucial and very strategic moving forward. And we're working very closely with the European Commission for the revision of the existing slot regulation. And last thing, if I may, we're about to release a new study on airport competition, which we'll use to engage with policymakers and regulators across Europe in terms of getting regulatory framework that are more reflective of the actual market dynamics we see in the market.
Fantastic. And you mentioned net zero, and now Karen D, she said just in the beginning of this conference that airport growth must go hand in hand with net zero. So my question for you then is, how is the Airport Carbon Accreditation going for you at the moment?
Well, it's going very well. We keep having more airports joining the program. It's interesting because we're seeing more airports from really across Europe. For example, you have the HMI, the Turkish airport operator, who is in the process of certifying all of its 30 plus airports under Airport Carbon Accreditation, so that's really good news. And then we're very busy on working on the next level for Airport Carbon Accreditation, which is the net zero level. So we hope to be announcing that towards the end of the year. We're going to start some pilots with some airports on this new certification level. So watch this space.
Fantastic. Just out of interest, who are you working with on the pilots? Who are leading the way?
I can't tell you.
You can't tell us, okay.
Tell you yet because this is not set yet.
Fantastic. Okay, well, my final question for you then is, what is keeping you awake at night, Olivier?
What's keeping me awake at night is the tendency of governments to look at curbing growth and going into demand management. I see really increasing risk, political risk, regulatory risk in Europe around that. And that's a big worry, along with, of course, what I mentioned earlier, making sure we get as many carrots as we get sticks in terms of decarbonizing.
Fantastic. Olivier,
and hopefully, there's many things that keep me awake at night, as you can see. And of course, the prospect of another COVID variant. Let's hope that doesn't happen.
Olivier, that was my final question. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.